I'm not here to let you feel that I have it all sorted out, right? But that thing that I know and I know for sure, oh my God, you're gonna love it, right?
Indeed.
And you would get it, right? So if it's just A that I know, and I know other people don't even know A,
Right.
you're gonna hear from me. You will hear the A, and I'll drum it, you know.
Oh, what a big mistake. Now that season is long gone. And I'm filled with
So how are you advertising the virtual career office, to get more people who I know will be interested in this?
Okay.
Yeah.
I think for me, I guess I kind of touched on it in the question that you asked earlier. I'm not too big on advertising. I'm not too big on promoting myself or promoting a business.
Okay.
I'm more of, if these are the people you have, let them get the experience, and then that would help. And
so word of mouth mainly.
Word of mouth and all that kind of stuff. I've also been privileged to work with people from different levels.
Okay.
So right from students, employers, even some government officials and all that. So when it comes to the different levels, I've had some engagements there and all that. And so that also helps, right? So then most of the time somebody's thinking early career development or early career support or something. Often than not, my name can come up, and that also helps. So that helps with the whole promotion or getting people to reach out to VCU and all that. But of course, as a business, what I do or the little I do is of course have be on the different social media platforms. So VCO is on Facebook, VCO is on LinkedIn, VCO is on Twitter, VCO now is on Instagram, right? But in the past, I think VCO was just on Facebook or something like that. But I think again, when it comes to impact, we have people who randomly will reach out to me and say, hey, I would like to volunteer for VCO. I actually get that a lot, like, hey, I see what you do, I think it's a great thing, I'd like to volunteer for VCO and all that. Yeah, so these people who volunteer, we have someone who is actually, he's super great and I really appreciate him, and all he does is he does our social media stuff for us, right? So if you see stuff on social media, it's really not me, because I really don't have that.
But it's the good stuff. I've seen a lot of good stuff on there.
So he would do so he it's always like you need to be consistent with your post. I'm like, hey, I'm tired, and all that. So the volunteers also help with that. And so when it comes to the business, of course, these platforms, we are there and then we engage to our posts and tips and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
So it's if I'm getting you correct, you're saying Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram,
Twitter.
Instagram and Twitter as well. Yeah.
Yes.
I think I know you mainly for Facebook and LinkedIn.
LinkedIn, yes.
Yeah, you are big on LinkedIn.
LinkedIn, yeah.
I see a lot of the stuff that you do.
Yeah.
Could you touch briefly on if you like mention some maybe 3 or even 4 key things that you typically share with a soon-to-be graduate who is entering the job space, or a young professional who is starting out in his career? What tips do you give them?
So I would, when someone who is graduating or has graduated and is entering, it will basically be on how you can position yourself to maybe excel in whatever you are doing. Yeah, so positioning yourself in terms of email etiquette, your communication with your supervisors and all that. Now, as little as just like really going to work early, not, when they give you an assignment, try as much as possible to always bring in your A game, add value, go above and beyond, and not just do them, and all that. Yeah. Things around, just don't see yourself as an employee, someone who is just adding to the numbers and you're just waiting to the end of the month for them to pay you.
Indeed.
Yeah, like you mentioned, value. See yourself as someone who is an entrepreneur, right? So that you probably don't own your own business, but even with your role or whatever you're doing for the company, you've taken it, like they say, World Cup,
Right.
and then it's like
Right.
it's your
Taking
baby,
it personal,
and
right.
you've taken it personal,
Yeah.
and all that, and all these things are things that people see or employers see, and then they find you useful, and they want to see you excel and all that. So these are some of the basic things that we just will share, but people really don't know. People
Indeed.
just feel like, oh, I have a job, oh wow, I've stayed at home for 5 years and I have a job, wow. And the employer even regrets, hiring you because you're not adding value to the company. You just go to work 8 o'clock, you just literally just waiting for 5 o'clock
Indeed.
for you to exit, and you're not really adding value. So these are some of the basic things that we will share with someone who just has exited from school. Of course, it will be different from if you are in college, or you're in school, and then you are preparing, right? That the tips that we also share may be different. So tips typically will be around really making the most out of your stay in the university. So clubs and joining clubs and societies, and internships, like I mentioned, and connecting with industry professionals to just understand what goes on in industry and all that.
Right.
And the likes, really, and stuff like that. Yeah. So depending on the targets audience, we know how to. And we also have tips that we share that cuts across,
right?
And all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah. So VCO is very intentional about our audience. We don't want to do everything.
Right.
We don't want to claim we know it all too. Right. It's just like the little thing that we do. I just sharing, because me, or personally, I also have areas that I need to grow and all that kind of. So I'm not here to let you feel that I have it all sorted out, right? But that thing that I know, and I know for sure, oh my God, you're gonna love it, right?
Indeed.
And you would get it, right? So if it's just A that I know, and I know other people don't even know A, you're gonna hear from me. You will hear the A, and it'll be I'll drum it,
Right. I mean, for an office that is clearly satisfying a huge need in the market, where do you see the virtual career office in say 5 years?
Right. So in 5 years, I actually see virtual career office touching a lot of lives, right? I don't know, but I see VCU or virtual career office as a calling for me. It's something I feel I'm called to do, to help people, because it's really targeted at the folks who don't have that advantage or that opportunity, and all that kind of stuff, right? So I see VCU, expanding or going to, the rich. Right. More students, more young people, and all that. That's why I see VCU, right? I want it to be a place where we actually, and maybe it will not be virtual. Right now it's virtual because, of course, it's virtual, right? But I by 5 years, it should be like a place where people can just like walk in and then just get some assistance that they need, right? In 5 years, I also see VCU trying to set up little centers in communities, right? So that would, of course, will come from partnerships or,
Indeed.
That we have from either government or organizations who can say, okay, I need you to set up career centers in, say, 5 districts, right? So that you will get that sponsorship, and then we just setting it up. So then if you're in this district and you probably don't even go to or you're not in a school, maybe you're not even in university because you can't afford it, but it doesn't mean that you can't get career guidance.
Indeed.
So that center is there, you walk in, it can be a free service, right? Or it can be just pay something little just to run the office, right? Because then you have donors or people who are sponsoring, right? And so it's in different districts that you just walk in and just get the counseling or career guidance or whatever that you need, right? So in 5 years, that is something that possibly I see it happening, right?
You're rounding up, and I'd like to ask, if you did have the chance, to give some advice to anybody who is looking to venture, within this space, to sort of give, if you like, advice or content, it could be what they know, some specific area or some skill they are looking to share, what advice would you give to such people? You know, somebody looking to enter this space, you know, somebody who wants to be like you in a sense. The person is maybe good in, you know, like you said, if I'm going to be good at A, I'm going to make sure as for that A, you will know about that A and know it very well.
Yeah.
So what advice would you give to such people? You know, somebody who is just looking to start out
in the space.
Yeah.
Right?
Not necessarily
or just
with
start
them.
out something.
Yeah, start out something in general.
Right. Okay.
Yeah,
So I think for me it will be, first you need to know your why. Yeah, and that's what a lot of people don't do.
Yes.
They always know the what, the what, the mostly will know the what. What am I doing? I'm doing X, Y, Z. But why are you doing it? Because it's only the why that would keep you in business. It's the why that will make you go the extra mile. It is your why that will make you creative. Right? It is your why that will make you wake up every day and say, I'm taking a risk, whatever, but I'm still doing this.
Right.
It's always your why. So I think for me it will be, you need to sit down, reflect, one, on yourself, and then in the reflection on yourself, you will get to know your why. Why am I even doing this, right? And then with that feedback, you can decide whether you want to venture in it or you want to just stay and just be respectful of yourself, right? And all that. So I think for me, the advice that I don't like long things, but then the advice I'll just tell or give to someone who wants to either start something or go in this space or just be, or be in this space will just be, always know your why. Why am I doing this? Why am I doing it because I want to make money, or am I doing it because I just want to prove a point?
Right.
Am I making? Do I want to do this because I just want power and I want influence? Or what's your why? If it's really power, influence, it's fine. That's your why. Just be honest about it.
Yeah.
And depending on what your why is, it will drive you to the right, people or people and I guess opportunities or whatever, right? If you know your why, and when you know your why, just be honest about it. You know why it's your why, and just be honest about it and go with the flow, right? Yeah. But most of the time, just make sure that whatever is driving you to do something is not coming from a selfish place. It's something that it's going to impact life. It's going to help someone. It's going to and all that kind of stuff. Money there will come. That's what I've gone to believe. Money will come, and money, money will come.
Money will come.
Yeah,
right.
money will come. If you're doing the right thing, if you are not, doing something bad to eat or whatever, money would come. And I think one of the things, the last thing I also want to, and this my mentor told me, when I wanted to start this, I had a lot of reasons not to. Like I had 1,001 reasons not to. Like if I had to take a pen and a paper to write the reasons not to start, I would probably just even flip the next and write, it was there, right? And advice I want to give is you always have reasons not to start something, right? But if you're able to identify just one, go with that, and that's why you need to know your why, right? And I always say that one of the reasons you may not want to start something is because you feel you are not competent enough. And I doubted myself, and I still doubt myself sometimes. Like it's something that I still do, but because I know about it, I've sort of mastered. I know what to do to anytime I am feeling like that and all that. So you would never feel competent. You always feel like, hey, this thing that I'm saying, what is some? Do you understand? You never feel competent, and I battle with that even till date, right? Of course, there are people who are well read, who know better, who know their stuff more than me, and I get it. That's fine. But the question here is, what are they even doing with the knowledge that they have?
Indeed.
What are they doing with it? Do you understand? Some of them just pride themselves by saying, I know this better, I know. But who is benefiting from that knowledge that you have?
Right.
No one. So if I'm going to sit down and look at somebody who has it or knows it better than me, and I feel like, Charlie, this person knows I won't do and everything, then you'll be at a loss because you want to actually help somebody.
Indeed.
The person has it but doesn't want to share. So who is better off? You are better off. And then I feel like whenever you start something, you would, and if it's not even, you're not even sure, trust me, you will find your feet. Nature has a way of just aligning itself to, making sure that they're not going to leave you stranded. Nature will not leave you alone. Nature will, because nature knows that what you are doing is coming from a good place, you and everything. Nature would respond to you and be good to you. That's what I believe. Yeah. So
I like that.
I
like that.
Yeah. So these are the 2 things. Just know your why, and also know that when you start something, you find 1,001 reasons not to start. But if you find that one thing, stick to it and do it. And then the third one will be that you will never feel competent or feel that you are there.
Right.
Yeah, and all that. But with that, still do it because it's coming from a right person. And nature will just it will just be good to you.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that very much. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you, Kwame, for this opportunity too.
I am so big on information. I'm so big on learning. I'm so big on self-improvement, and this aspect of your outfits, which is virtual career office, I particularly like because it's something that is going to give information to people who need it. Young adults, young graduates, people who are just starting out in their careers, etc. And these are the things that I feel, like you said, you alluded to yourself, it's something that, people need to have. It shouldn't be for, a selective few. It should be something that, every Joe on the streets, who is looking to climb up in their careers should have. And it's huge. I am really excited about it. I was really, really excited when I heard about it, and I'm so glad I got to interview you to talk about this.
Yeah.
And so for our audience, if you are looking for the right information as to how to better position yourself in order to look attractive in the workplace or in the marketplace, I would strongly encourage you to check out the virtual career office. We'll put the handles in the link below. We'll even add a number as well, so you can get to contact Akua very directly. She would really, really be there to give you all the necessary information you need. We have come to the end of the show. It was a really, really interesting one. I've learned so much. I hope you also have learned much too. Until the next episode, be safe. Thank you.